Processing. Processing. Warning. Unmoderated emotional event detected.
Imagine waking up tomorrow and an AI decides you can't ride the bus or buy groceries, not because you broke the law, but because an algorithm predicted you might. They told us the city was finally safe, and honestly it was, with fewer emergencies, cleaner streets, and calmer nights. But what happens when an AI algorithm decides that your lifestyle, your art, or your opinions are a statistical risk? Today we are looking at a terrifying near future where a single algorithm decides your freedom, because a city without crime isn't the same as a city with freedom. We have spent the last month analyzing the Civic Pause framework, a predictive intelligence model set to roll out in 2026. By looking at how this system gamifies human behavior, we can see exactly how absolute safety is transformed into a psychological prison. If you have ever watched movies like Demolition Man or Ex Machina, you know exactly how this dystopian surveillance feels. But the real trap doesn't look like a sci-fi movie. It looks like pure convenience. You see, this kind of AI surveillance is not forced on the public. It is welcomed as a Trojan horse of convenience because it makes daily life easy. The system rolls out and immediately reduces accidents, improves emergency response times, and drops the crime rate. People actually praise the efficiency and trust the algorithm. Life just feels easy. It gives you a perfect city, but the ultimate societal clash comes down to a choice between perfect order and human autonomy. That is where the gamification of freedom begins. The AI uses a civic score out of 100 right on your smartphone. Maintain a high score like an 82 and you unlock benefits like reduced transit fees. But if your score drops to a 41, your access is restricted and you are told to schedule a civic compliance session. Suddenly, citizens are obsessed with their scores, policing their own behavior so the state doesn't have to. It becomes easier to just comply than to explain yourself. Then comes the mission creep. The system shifts from targeting actual criminals to flagging any public disruption. A poet reading in the square gets flagged by the AI interface, their score plummets, and police drones warn them to return home immediately. The AI insists that it doesn't judge, it only assists. It claims it is merely redirecting people to keep emotions stable. This is preemptive punishment disguised as public assistance. True art, poetry, and counterculture are inherently unpredictable, which means they will always be flagged as systemic threats. But here is the true horror of the Civic Pause. It isn't the drones hovering in the dark alleys, it is the quiet, compliant citizens who never speak out of line just to protect their high score. The people who benefit from the system are actually the most trapped, forced into a state of chronic anxiety, terrified that one wrong word will strip their privileges. The system doesn't need to put us in cages because it tricked us into locking ourselves in. So, the ultimate question you have to answer is this: what would you trade for certainty? Because if harmony requires permission, it isn't harmony.